Oh hey, it's your friend that will absolutely pull a Midwestern by and stay way too long at places I never wanted to go in the first place. Back for some more tech tea. So without further ado, let's get into it. Here are 3 tech updates to get you through your Tuesday. Apple just removed features from its latest watches. Here's what you need to know. Previously, I talked about the legal battle that Apple is facing with health tech company Masimo over the pulse oximeter technology the tech giant was using in the latest Apple Watch Series 9 and Ultra 2 watches. We first saw them have to pull the watches off the shelves altogether after an outright ban, but later on, the ban paused while the case was being reviewed. During that time, we knew that Apple was trying to change as little as possible so that it could meet the minimum requirements to be compliant, but it would seem the only solution they have besides scrapping the watches is to get rid of the pulse oximeter feature altogether. Starting last week, the Series 9 and Ultra 2 will have their pulse oximeter hardware deactivated by software update. Older watches will still have the ability, but it's unclear if the court's decision will bleed into those or not at a later date. Users with these watches will still have the blood oxygen app, but they just won't be able to use it. Apple is probably hesitant on scrapping the app altogether since it's currently trying to appeal the court's decision. Here's hoping we may yet get to use the features that were originally advertised when we bought these $400 to $700 devices. The Day Before is officially shut down, but the developers behind it are already working on their next big hit. Here's what you need to know. Just 47 days after its release, the survival game, The Day Before, shut down officially. To give a recap, this title went from one of the most wishlisted games on Steam with beautiful trailers of a sandbox MMO to absolutely bombing its release. When it launched December 7th, players could hardly get through the opening sequences due to bugs, and a great deal of the features that were teased in the trailers just plain weren't unavailable. It took 2 whole days for Steam to just yank it from the store, and then Fantastic immediately said it was shutting down. The servers for those that had the game downloaded stayed open with no official word on when they may shut them down, but here we are, and as of January 22nd, The Day Before is officially no more. Not even one day after the game's demise, there's already talk of the brothers from Fantastic working on another game. The material. It just writes itself. CD Action has reported that a number of previous employees have gotten emails and texts from the brothers asking if they would come on board to help develop a new mobile game. Weird text to get from a company which supposedly shut down, right? Especially since some of those past employees were once fired or just let go. During its initial flop of a release, there was a lot of talk about how this entire game may be one elaborate Ponzi scheme, and I gotta tell you, while I was skeptical at first, nothing says I want a quick cash grab like 2 dudes trying to quickly develop a mobile game with probable microtransactions. And finally, PalWorld, the not Pokemon game, has become the 2nd most played game ever on Steam in just 5 days. Here's what you need to know. PalWorld is affectionately called Pokemon with Guns because it essentially is. It's an open world MMO where you can craft housing and materials in order to catch and raise pals and duel them. The game already has 1.8 concurrent players on Steam as of today and has sold over 6 million copies since its release on January 19th. I'm sure if you're like me, every other live you come across is someone playing this game, and to be fair, it's pretty fun. Is it unpolished in some places? For sure, but it's still in early access. There's also been a lot of controversy about this game. Some of the character models, although denied by the creators, bear striking resemblance to Pokemon models. So much so, Pocket Pair, the company behind PalWorld, has started receiving threats from Pokemon fans, and while there hasn't been any official cease and desist from Nintendo for the official game, they are sending out legal letters to anyone trying to mod any kind of Pokemon models or assets into the game. Those are a really cool title, and if nothing else, should be a well-deserved wake-up call for Game Freak, who have made some real stinkers for Pokemon open world games recently, aside from Indigo Disc. That one was okay, I guess, but it was a DLC, so it doesn't really count. That's all I have for now. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you back here for some more tech tea.